Kia ora, good afternoon. So I just woke up because, as you know, I do when I'm in pain and that I need to sleep. So I do have to sleep. Oh, because even though my guts isn't dealing with that issue anymore, I still have to deal with the pain around my scars. So and oh God, I've been through a lot the last so much. It's just been a roller coaster of emotions the last 24 hours. So much has gone on. Um, so yeah, so after I made my last videos, um, I had a moi, and I had this weird dream, and I know my dreams are usually weird, but this one was, I can't even, like, my God. So I had a dream that I was in, it was kind of, well, I want to say Disneyland, but it wasn't Disneyland. A few years ago, I had a dream that I was on a tropical island and I had to get off the island and I was eating rice and coconuts. And I had to get off the island and all the animals were helping me walk across the water and up into the sky. Like I was climbing on their backs and they were helping me like go up to the sky where I went to this portal in the sky and my boys were there. And I was a bit nervous to step through the portal and my boy took my hand and he said, "It's all right, Mum, we've got like you've got this or something. We're holding your hand, you've come this far. Just like we'll do this bit together," or something like that. As I say that, I just got pain in my stomach. So anyway, so we walked through the portal and I landed in the grounds of what looked like my foundation. I'm pretty sure I was saying it was like my foundation, and there was a fountain in the middle, and we had always said that we'd put a fountain in our foundation and we'd let people like we'd let dogs swim in it, we'd clean it'd be cleaned out and it would be, like this really beautiful fountain. um, I think we said, because we were planning on moving to, where was it at the time, Canada, Russia, I can't remember, Canada maybe, that we were going to build the fountain to honour the people of Yorkshire and like the king and all of that. It was going to be like a fountain of honour, and you'd be able to throw coins in and make wishes and all this sort of thing. And I can't remember what else happened in the dream, but it is there. I'll find the link to it. But it was the fountain from this dream that was in my foundation, and in this dream, I was walking around taking photos, and I was dressed like the Grand Emperor's fairy godmother. I was Brehena Saithusa. I was wearing this really beautiful, like burgundy um, empress, like this beautiful gown, and it had like gold thread on it, and I had my hair up, and I was wearing my crown, my Brehena Saithusa crown that was made up of all the different elements. They had like feathers and bark and shells and leaves and rocks and all of that in my crown, twigs, and I had just these beautiful wings, and they were like fairy wings, and I'm taking photos of me around this foundation. I remember I was taking a photo of me standing by one of my shops that looks slightly wonky because it's the what I call the town part of my foundation is going to look like York. Um, but in my stories, it's a Boracom, which is like the original word for York. But like all kind of higgledy piggledy, and but it's how it was made to look like York. And I'm taking photos outside the stores and then I'm posting them on my social media, my version of Instagram and all of that. And in it, I'm doing videos and I'm doing little photos and I'm posting them and I'm saying, look, honey, this is me standing outside the bakery and this is me standing by the blah, 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 talking to my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend, but I did here apparently. And I had these beautiful, like, luminescent wings, and nobody cared that I was walking around, but everyone knew who I was. I was just like this proud Disney style fairy empress walking around my empire, taking photos and little videos and posting them to show my boyfriend, who I knew was watching, and he was so exceptionally proud of me. Because it was like it's like as I was posting them, he was reacting in real time, like, and like I'm saying, that's my girl, and look at my girl, oh my god, I'm so proud of her, blah blah blah, and that's my girl, and I'm going to marry her, and that sort of thing. And it was just really sweet, and it was really lovely, and it was cute, because we were grown ups, but we were like in love like teenagers, and it was just really sweet. And I was showing him, like when you're a kid and you get a new toy and you want to show your friends, sort of thing. I was showing him, look what I've built. But then, as soon as I was posting stuff, there was this little. She looked like a teenager, but like, how can I explain it? She tried to make herself look like me, but there was something wrong with the image. Like, see, I just had my hair cut a couple of months ago, but my hair, when it's down, sort of comes to my boobuses. But it's like she was trying to copy me, but there was something wrong with her images. So, like, see, when I took a photo of my fountain, she took a photo of herself in the fountain, but she was like very, where I was wearing like an elegant, empress's gown, because like burgundy is my favourite colour. When Martin and I got married in burgundy. I love deep reds. I love deep reds, and I was wearing like this impeccable gown. I was being very sort of gracious and empress like, and people were oohing and ahhing and taking photos, and it was, there was no bother, and it was all just very natural. But then whatever I was doing, she was then doing, but it just felt wrong. It was like she was about 5 foot and I'm 6 foot, so in heels I can be anywhere up to like 6 foot 4, 6 foot 5, depending on how high my heels are. And I was moving very gracefully, and it was very sweet, and like the sun was shining, and I can still hear the water from the fountain, and I could smell like the food cooking coming from the bakery where I was taking the photo of the building, showing him, look at this really cool building. And then she was immediately copying what I was doing, but it was wrong. So then she was sitting, the fountain that I took the photo in, because there were dogs playing in the fountain, and I was showing him the fountain and saying, look, honey, like, look at this and blah, blah, blah. And then she was sitting in the fountain wearing like a negligee version of what I was wearing. So she was, what my mother would say, tarting up the image. Her hair was obviously dyed black. I dye my hair black, but I don't look unnatural having black hair. Even with my like snow white skin and blue eyes, I don't look unnatural, because like my lashes and my eyebrows and that are quite dark anyway. And I've got so many raven haired people in my family, like naturally. with black hair and that. Like my mum had black hair, my dad had black hair. I've got sisters and brothers with black hair, so it doesn't look unnatural on me. But with her, it looked unnatural. It was a bad. It didn't sit right, and she cut her hair herself because I cut my hair like my fringe and that, but she'd done it and her hair was all like it was too short and it was like uneven and wonky. But she was sitting in the fountain in a very sexually suggestive pose, in a promiscuous pose, posting it to my boyfriend. And I'm saying to my boyfriend, why is she trying to be a water sign? Which is a weird thing to say. Um, I'll interpret it in a second, but well, basically, it means like she's trying to appeal to his emotional side. She's trying to get into his head. She's trying to appeal to his, pull on his heartstrings and win his heart by copying me. She thinks if she copies me, like she knows that he's in love with me. She knows how proud he is to be my man. I mean, okay, where is he? Please show me who you are. But yeah, it's like she didn't want us to be together, so she's trying to lure him away by being like a Temu version of Brahena Saithosa. And then she was standing by the bakery, taking the photo of the wonky building that looks like York, the buildings in York, in the shambles around that area. It's all how I want to design a Buracom, the name of my town and my foundation. And instead of just standing outside the bakery, I think in the bakery as well, when I was standing outside the bakery, I think I had like a cinnamon swirl. I was looking at recipes the other day for cinnamon swirls, so I'd like to do my own. And it must be in the back of the recesses of my mind, because I think I had like a big cinnamon swirl, and I was showing it to him, and saying, like, don't you want to take a bite out of this? And I took a bite, and and I was saying, oh, it smells amazing, and blah blah blah. But then she did it, but she had like 9 of them and was like stuffing them in her mouth, like all 9 at once, stuffing them in her mouth, trying to pose all like Shrek Shrilly, trying to make it. It's like she was doing what I was doing, but extra, but tarting it up, making it like a dark, kind of seedy version, and he wasn't paying her any attention. And I think that's why she was going the extra mile, because she knew he wasn't even looking at her. He was just focused on me. It's like he wasn't even noticing the surroundings. He was just focused on me because he couldn't take his eyes off me. And he was showing his friends my social media, my version of Instagram and all that, and he's saying, "Look at my woman, like that's my woman. I'm going to marry her. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her. This is going to be my life now." And he was showing me off, completely ignoring her. I don't know. She must have been following him and tagging him, but he wasn't even looking at them. He was just like deleting them, bypassing them, not even focused on her. And it's like she knew it. So the next post, she'd be copying it was like a mirror image of everything I was doing, but like a Temu ramped up, tarted version. And it was getting her angrier and angrier and angrier. And then all I remember was I had come up to literally come up to my castle tower. So I must have been living there, and I had my castle there, and I was walking up, the stairway to the turret of my castle tower, and there was this beautiful rug on the floor, and I was saying to Prince William, they stole my measuring cups. I had 6 measuring cups and now I've only got 3. And Prince William, sorry, got angry, and he was like, "I'm going to make them give back your measuring cups." And then he stormed off. And then I can't remember what happened. Like I placed all the measuring cups like all nicely in a row. I had 3, and I was supposed to have 6. And they were my real ones that I have in real life, but I can't stand my measuring cups. They annoy me. I can't read the thing properly, but it was all I could afford. So beggars can't be choosers, but I don't like them. Every time I use them, I always say to God out loud, when I get out of here and I get justice and I get my money, I'm buying me some good measuring cups. Well, I'm not allowed to buy the stuff for my kitchen. It has to be my man that buys the stuff in my kitchen. It's a wick thing. It's to do with my faith, but basically, um, in my faith, um, in Wit culture, the heart of the home is the kitchen, and the woman of the house is responsible for the maintenance of, like, she's responsible for all the food that is made in the heart of the home, because she's responsible for feeding the family and nurturing their heart. It's one of the reasons why my supernatural foods, it's all to do with based on the tagline, it heals you as you eat it. It's all made with love. Our bakery is Mama Bear's Kitchen Cafe and Bakery, because a Mama Bear, she does everything for her cubs with love, and all my customers will be my cubs. And so I'm serving you all my recipes and all my food and all my magic, because cooking is a form of chemistry, and chemistry is a form of alchemy, and there's magic that goes into every morsel that I create, like literal magic that goes into every morsel that I create, because I tweak all my recipes in a way that, as you know, from my weight loss and stuff, it heals your body when you eat it. My food is magic, so it's super natural foods. It's super organic, but it's supernatural because it's magic. There's magic in every morsel, and you'll lose weight and you'll feel better and it'll clear your skin up and all of that, because I deconstruct the molecular structure of all the recipes that I work with, even though the recipes that, like the cinnamon rolls and Afghans and that, everybody can make them. Everybody makes them my kind of way, but I tweak the recipes in a way that has health benefits. And then I infuse it all with biorhythmics. So it's energetically infused, so that when you eat it, all the molecules of my ingredients come together in a way that heals your body from the inside out. So you feel good after you've eaten my food. And it might be like a big heavy pie. It might be a big plate of stew. It might be like a whole packet of Afghans that you eat, but you're going to feel incredible when you eat it. You're not, you might be feel full, but you're going to feel incredible, and it warms your heart. People, my whole life, people have always talked about my food and how when they eat it, they always feel so much better. Everybody, even my dad, used to get, the one thing they used to be excited about when they came to stay with me was my baking and my food. They looked forward to my food, and I'm always given a list. Can you bake that with my sister Erin? Can you bake your banana cake? And with my son Thomas, it's my cheesecake and my banana cake. And with Gabriel, it's my stews. And with, well, my dad was everything. With my mum, it was my ginger loaf. You know, my triple chocolate cake. With my most of my like my niece Amber and my niece Tui, it was my homemade donuts. So everyone has their favourites of mine. But now that I tweak the recipes, when you eat it, you're going to feel good. It warms your heart, it heals your heart, and it heals your body as well, because of how I infuse biorhythms into all my recipes. That has, for some reason, people think biorhythmics has got something to do with music, like playing songs. and it doesn't. It just so happens that I listen to music while I'm working with my biorhythmic algorithm. But yeah, so anyway, so in my cult, in my faith, as a Wicca woman, as a indigenous alchemist, eighth elemental alchemist, grand empress, high priestess. I am the shizzle when it comes to like you. There's no one higher than me when it comes to the ability to work with my kind of alchemy. And so I'm not because I have to abide by the laws of alchemy. I can't. I cast. So I create the recipes. I put the recipes together. I put the spell together, but I can't conjure, which means while I can say I need this and I need this and I need this, I'm not the hunter gatherer. That's the man's position. When it comes to the running of the household in a work relationship, you have your specific roles. I take care of the inside, he protects the outside. So I'll say to him, I need a blender. I do need a blender. My electric hand whiz just died. I'm gutted because I used it to make all like my milkshakes, and now I've had to improvise, and it's just driving me up the wall. But my son's got me that for, I can't remember if it was Mother's Day or my birthday or Christmas or something, but it was from my sons. I have to ask my sons, can I get her this? And then they have to be the ones to grant me permission to get it, because they're the men of my house. So they conjure. So all the little things that I've had to buy for my kitchen, they've had to give me permission to do it because they're the men of the house. They were my protectors. So anything like measuring cups, anything to do with what I need to cook my food, it's the man's responsibility to get me what I need because he conjures it. He gathers it from nothing. That's what the word conjure means, to gather from nothing. And so I cast and mold the recipe, which is what casting means, to mold and shape. So I mold and shape the recipe, and then he goes and conjures what I need to bring the spell together. And so in this dream, they'd taken three of my measuring cups, and I couldn't replace them because I'm not the one that's allowed to go out and get them. So in my dream, Prince William stepped in and he was, I'm going to make them give back your measuring cups. And he was so pissed off, he stormed off. He was just furious that they had taken my other measuring cups. And he stormed off and he came back with my measuring cups. Well, he made them. He told them, if you don't give back her measuring cups, I'm removing you from the village. I'm removing you from the town. You will be cast out. You will be ostracized. You will be completely removed from the village. And it wasn't even his village, it was mine. It wasn't even his kingdom, it was mine. But he had taken it upon himself to protect my village. And he was saying to them, if you don't give her measuring cups back, you're going to be cast out of the village, and you won't have access. You'll be locked outside the gates. And I was thinking, oh, go you. But it was because, how can I? It's like he saw me like a child. It's like he'd taken it upon himself to protect little Anahita. He saw me as just like, she's new to all of this. She's only little. So I'm going to look after her while she's growing into her wings, kind of thing. That's what it was like. I respected him because I knew he had kind of like more authority than me, as as royalty, even though my royal bloodline is probably older. I think it is. I think my bloodline is older, but I knew that he had the authority. So I got my three measuring cups back, and I was so happy. But the ones I got back were even better than the ones they took. And then he came in and he lined them up on my carpet, next to the three that I'd lined up, and they were just glorious. I'd gotten better measuring cups back, and I was sitting on the ground like a kid, counting them, going 1, 2, 3, and I was like, "Yay!" Honestly, I was like a kid, and he was protective of me like I was. And then I stood up and I clapped my hands and I said to him, "Can we go and get ice cream now?" And he said, "Why, yes, Princess Catherine has already picked the flavours." And then I held his hand. This, and then we skipped to my ice cream parlour where Princess Catherine was standing there with like big ice cream sundaes. And then I woke up. Like, what the hell? It must have something to do with me. It must have something to do with William sticking up for his dad or something. And it's something I maybe it's because like everything that's just happened. It means that I'm getting justice and I'm going to get my money and I'm getting out of here and I'm getting to build my school. I think I'm being told what William's just done has cleared the path for me to get out of here and build my school. But the see oh, the the evil dark fairy, the one that was copying me, like because Pixie, that's it. She was being a pixie. I was a Grand Empress Fairy Godmother. She was being a pixie because pixies are trouble. Pixies are troublemakers. Everybody thinks, like if you look at Tinkerbell and all that, she's a fairy, but she's got like the temperament of a pixie. Pixies have really bad tempers and they're really, really dark. Like in the daytime, they look like, we're just humble servants and we're here to clean the house and, you know, um, look after the babies. And pixies primarily, they watch over the house when you've got newborn babies and they help the mums and all of that sort of thing. But secretly they don't like it. Secretly they just want to go out and cause mischief, so they wait until the masters of the house are asleep and then they go out and they like tip rubbish over. They tip all the bins over and all that sort of thing. And when I was growing up, if there was ever rubbish on the ground, because we have this thing in New Zealand about being a tidy Kiwi, you pick your rubbish up. And so sometimes, like my dad, when he used to talk about fairies at the bottom of the garden and that, he'd say, the pixies are out if the rubbish was on the ground. And so, yeah, it's like she was a pixie, but she was trying to pretend like she was a fairy, but she was a pixie. In the movie that I wrote, in my the movie that I want to do, like the Dark Crystal, the rise of Brehena, the the rise of the Dragon Queen. Her love interest in that um, is dealing with the evil fairy queen that and she covers his eyes so that he can't see the truth of Brehennis, Anahita, because they meet when they're young. Anahita, Princess Anahita, he can't. She uses giants and cyclopses and stuff like that and like evil bad trees, to put paper over his eyes held with pieces of string, where she's drawn an illusion in front of his eyes, he looks like he's looking out to the grounds of Princess Anahita's garden, but it's where all the roses are dying and all the bushes are dying and all that sort of thing. But he doesn't know that she's got help covering his eyes, so he can't see that he's actually standing in a beautiful garden, because she puts pictures in front of his eyes that makes him see the the Earth Kingdom's garden and all of that, to be something that it's not. So she's like, drawing an illusion in front of his eyes, putting it onto a piece of paper, and then he doesn't know he's got like giants and winged things and that behind him, putting the paper down in front of him to mask his view. So he's looking out, thinking he's looking onto the grounds of her garden, where the roses are dying, and the bushes aren't growing and the vegetables aren't growing, and it's all arid and gross. But he doesn't know that there's paper in front of him with a drawing on it, because she's like an illusionist, like she's trying to pretend that she's magic, but it's all an illusion. Like a magician pulling a rabbit out of the hat, it's an illusion because the rabbit's hiding under like a fake piece of the top hat. Whereas Princess Anahita can do actual magic. She can like just manifest the rabbit out of nowhere. She'll say, and up comes a rabbit, and a rabbit will just pop up out of the ground, and it's like, where the hell did that come from? You're in the middle of the desert, sort of thing. So her magic's real, but with I had called the queen Starmiller, but I'm going to call her Queen Papyrus, Queen Paper. Um, so yeah, so it's like that. That dream, it's like she was copying me, but it was like a bad Temu version. It was like she was trying to paint this illusion of her reality that wasn't even there. Like but like where she'd convinced herself that she was pulling it off. As long as he's not blocking me, I must be getting his attention. That sort of thing. Yeah, it was like yeah, just, and even in my dream, I was like, oh, I've got to keep away from her because she's trouble. Like, the sort of pixie, like, you see, like, pixies, red caps as well, they'll do things like, they'll use their nails to poke babies to make them cry, just to cause the mother bother, that sort of thing. So, you got to be careful of these things. But whoever my boyfriend was, he was so proud of me. It's like he was looking up at me. Like I was holding my phone down and he was looking up at me like, oh my God, like, I'm going to marry her. I'm like, she chose me and I chose her, and we're going to be together. But it's like I was showing him what was waiting for him, because I was waiting for him to come and join me. But in the meantime, Prince Willip, Prince Willip, God, I should use that as a name for one of the characters, Willip. Prince William was hell bent on me getting my measuring cups back, but they were better than the ones that I had. So it was just, yeah, and then I got to have ice cream with Princess Catherine. But she kind of looked like, is it Belle from Beauty and the Beast? She had her hair up and she was wearing like this golden yellowy princess dress. She looked just like a Disney princess, but I think it was like Belle. She's the one that wears yellow, right? Yeah, she was standing in in my ice cream parlor, designed how I wanted it to look, with ice cream sundaes, but because I want to make my own ice cream, deliciously dairy. And yeah, it was my ice cream and that. So yeah, we got to have ice cream at the end. So yeah, so Lord only knows. So I must have yet another doppelganger who's trying to. I must have an admirer out there who's secretly in love with me, or there's someone out there who's in love with me, and I'm he's get I'm he I'm blah, blah. I'm getting all his attention and she doesn't like it, which is in the rise of the Dragon Queen. She went after him to try and see me differently, and in the movie it does work because he accuses Princess Anahita of being a demon. She convinces him that he's in love with a demon, and then he flees the kingdom, and he gets locked out of the kingdom and can't get back in. And then he has to fight to get back to her. When he realizes that he'd been lied to, and that what he'd been shown was all an illusion, like a bad magic trick, bad like fake news kind of stuff. He then fights the bad guys to come racing back on his horse, that I wanted to call Boris. His horse is called Boris. And then he has to figure out how to get back into the kingdom because he realised she wasn't a demon, she was a dragon. And she was the good, like, not only was she the dragon, but she's like the dragon, like the North Star dragon. And he was like, oh my God, they were lying to me. It was all a lie. And like, I've lost the love of my life, sort of thing. That's the Rise of the Dragon Queen. And it was originally, I wanted to do it in the style of, Pete's Dragon and Mary Poppins, where it's real actors but animated characters. But then I thought might be cool to do it like in like the Dark Crystal. But I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, that was my dream. So I had to record it. Just like mirrored reality. It was weird. It was weird because it was like I was dreaming, and as I was dreaming, she was replicating my dream in my dream as I was dreaming. So is it someone who's like, as soon as I upload stuff, they're uploading it on different channels pretending to be me? Because that's what they did with my Instagram and my Facebook, using my social media to pass themselves off as me so that they could make money and all of that sort of thing. And my Instagram, they said because of fraud. So has the AI figured out that someone's been replicating my social media, or is that just the excuse they use to kick me off? Because I know they've been trying to get me kicked off for a while. So I don't know, but yeah, basically, it's kind of like that Mayan temple dream I had where I'm in the desert, and the animals were paving the way for me to get to the Mayan temple. And as I'm climbing the temple, the animals took all the people who were a threat to me away from the jungle and put them out in the desert. And that's kind of like what Prince William was threatening to do with these people. If you don't give her back her measuring cups, we're going to lock you out of the gates of her kingdom. Like he'd stepped in like I was 3. But yeah, interesting. So I had to record it. I swear to God, I can't wait. It's like my movies and my school, it's like it's just out of reach. I can see it right in front of me, and it's like I'm almost there. I can almost touch the gates and the grounds and the buildings, and I can smell the baking, and I can, like the sun shining. It's like it's so close. It's so close. And all I keep thinking is like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to watch my stories come to life and be turned into movies and books and video games. And everyone was just so happy. Everyone that was walking around enjoying like my little non-version of Disney and stuff with my castle in the background, and it was all, people were just so happy and chill because they were eating my food and just taking it all in and enjoying the grounds and all the different ways that I'd designed the landscapes and all of that. They were just, oh, that. But that's how people feel when they come to my house. And it's been like that ever since I got married to my first husband. When people come to stay with me, I look after them in a way where they say they're just like, oh, because I take all their burdens and stuff away, because I pamper them. Even like my parents and that, like back in the day, I'd pamper them. I'd leave like little gifts on their bed, little notes, and they'd have their own little toiletries, and I'd always leave them like little presents, and I'd make all their favourite foods, and they didn't have to do anything. They could just chill and eat my food, and that's what they loved. I love coming to you because it's like I feel like I'm at home. That's what people say. Coming to you feels like home. So, like Mama Bear's Kitchen Cafe and Bakery the design of it is gonna look like a Mother Bear's kitchen. Like when you walk into it, like you're walking into your mum's kitchen, sort of thing. So, yeah, it's like I'm starting to see it like almost manifest in real life. But someone's built their whole social media presence based on an illusion to try and mimic me to get the attention of a man who's my boyfriend, apparently, who's not even looking at her. And the more he's not looking at her, the harder she's trying to get his attention. And she thinks that by getting more like succubus like, which would be very Pixarian, um, that she'll get his attention, but he's not. What he loves about me is the fact that I'm wholesome and that everything comes from a pure heart, and that's what he loves about me. That's what it was like. Like, why would I have Temu plastic when I can have a gold dragon, a dragon made from gold, who sits on an all star and watches over all the children with her magic wand and that, like it was like that. But I don't know who he was. I think, to be honest, I think in the dream he was in the guy at the end of my Eye of the Tiger dream who was climbing up the ladder to fix the phone lines. He was with all those military people helping fix the phone lines. It was him, but I don't know this man in real life. What he looked like in my dreams isn't someone that I know in real life. So I don't know. Anyway, so I just had to record it because it was magical and weird and inspiring and just kind of cute and funny all at the same time. So I can't wait to bring the people on board to help me put all of this into reality. And until people know my characters and I can put my characters in costume on the streets and stuff like that, it's just going to be an enchanted garden. It's going to be like an enchanted town on the grounds of a place where they're going to feel safe and secure, where they can just come and kick their shoes off and eat good food and sit in the sun, clear blue skies, and just go, oh. But then, when one day when my movies are famous and that, then I can be like Disney and have characters, actors and that dressed up as characters, but where we're not seedy and weird and, you know, doing bad things to children. The wholesome version. So I'm going to go because I think I would, excuse me, would like to have another coffee. And I don't usually drink coffee after lunch, but I feel like to have a coffee. I could have a smoothie maybe. So yeah, so I can't replace my electric wand because I have no man to grant me permission to get it. Ideally, what like with my ex and that, I'd tell him what I'd need, and then he would go to the shop or order it online and bring it in for me. And so when stuff breaks, I can't replace them because I have no man of the house. So I'm going to go now and I shall speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.